All right, well, first spot, we got a tree down already. So that could be kind of a little harmful to this spot here, because this is super shallow. Like, we did get some rain recently. Wonder if there's gonna be anything sitting under it, but I mean, if you've seen me fish here before, because I fished here many times, deep, pretty much all the way through. But here is the first worm we're gonna be using today. This is more of like a blood red color. Again, these are all jackal baits, micro flick worms. I'm really excited to use these. And then they're on a size, I believe, 6 Wacky rig hook. All like micro fishing setups for the most part. So I'm definitely excited. Hopefully we get something. I'm not feeling a lot of luck in this spot. Mainly want to see if there's like maybe a rock bass or something sitting, just to see how these fish are going to react in here, but don't have a lot of expectations here. Yeah, that's more shallow than I expected. Casts better than I thought it would. I figured distance would be a bit of an issue, but it actually casts pretty decent. It's a little bit more of a dense worm, so that is nice. I have 2 more colorations, and they're actually smaller than this. One is in black, and one is a light pink. So, hoping between the 3 of those we can do some damage here. Probably gonna rope around to this deep spot up here. It's always tough to get to. I've lucked out there a couple times. I've broken off there a couple times, but it's just a little bit hard of an area to get to. I might just wade through, actually. Probably just gonna wade through right here, hop across. I don't know how cold the water is. I did not wear water socks. I just wore regular socks and some creek shoes. Oh, that water is cold. Oh my God. You don't realize how cold 60s are in water. Well, that'll wake you up in the morning. Note to self, don't wade a lot today. Yeah, obviously did not break out the wading gear yet. So right in here, never fished it from this angle, but there's almost always a fish in this little drainage section here. Now, one of my least favorite things about fishing in fall, the leaves are the bane of your existence. The amount of leaves that will be stuck to your little micro trout bait and ruining your perfection is obnoxious, to say the least. Now, since I've never used these before, obviously, I will stick with the Wacky rig hook probably as long as I can. Since I always jig fish, I wanted to try something at least a little bit different. With like wacky rigging for trout. Just want to see if there's anything maybe stuck in here. If these don't work for trout, I have no doubt that they'll be perfect for panfish. No doubt in my mind. The night crawler either so far. Alright, that's perfect. Right where we want it. Oh, I see a couple of them. A couple of these trout probably looked over here like, not this guy again. Yep, and there's the unfortunate part of trout season in the fall. Leaves. I know in here, the drainage is super bad for these leaves, so they will just pile on the exact same spot every single day. So that's why I tried coming here at the start of fall. Like, yeah, these leaves are obviously coming down, but we are just into October. So I know in the next few weeks, they're really going to be dropping. Now, say what you will about some of Pennsylvania, our fall is tough to beat. All right, nothing home. With it being so shallow in here right now, I mean, obviously they can see me pretty well. Didn't have entirely huge expectations for this first spot, but definitely gonna make it interesting for what it looks like down creek more. Might have to try some different spots today. But yeah, basically I am a little worried that this Wacky rig hook set, or like hook style, is gonna be a little bit tough for trout. If they're picky, like obviously, yeah, they're never gonna bite this, but we'll see. I'm hoping to at least get a couple. If not, I'll just switch to jigging for a while, so at least I get some catches today. But yeah, so far, no go on the Wacky rig setup. So sadly enough, like right in here was where I missed the big rainbow. In here, I've caught fish many times. It's so shallow that, I mean, there's nothing in here right now. Just nothing. I mean, this whole part of the creek is dry. It's usually my little walking path through. So it's gonna be tough today. Yeah, there's gonna be less places for them to hide. That means there's less places for me to hide from them as well. So could be a tough expedition here. My lucky, I mean, look at this. My lucky spot is even dried up. We did get some rain recently, and I was hoping that it would fill up some of these spots, but it's not looking like it did much of anything, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to just drop in here and there, but this is probably going to be a tough new. There we go. Aha, fall fish. That makes a little bit more sense for how it was trying to eat. Oh no, creek chub. A really nice creek chub, actually. Wow, that is a relatively big boy. That would explain why I was having trouble with that hook. You know what that hook didn't have trouble with? Hooking me. These guys are always a little tough to hold. But yeah, he's actually a really nice one. Yeah. All right, buddy. Let's get you sent back. All right, there he goes. Get the wibble wobbles. He'll be all right. Yeah, so I always try to avoid having the trout like eat it, obviously, especially for catch and release. There he goes. He's a little upset with me, but he'll be okay. With that one, I actually did have to let it eat a bit more, just because that mouth, like that sucker mouth, was a little bit tougher to actually get like in there. Okay, so something was carrying it off rather than like directly eating it. Makes me think it's another creek chub. Ooh, I just saw a nice fish surface down there. I don't know if I can really get to that. This could be a wading mission at this point. Should have brought my wading gear. Not even because it's deep. Obviously it's super shallow, just it is freezing in these things. Oh, I saw something pick it up. Okay, so yeah, I do think it's some sort of chub or just really small fish or something. All right, we got something here. Aha, the culprit of the day. Shocker, a cut lips minnow. Is it really a fishing adventure in PA without a little cut lips minnow? See ya, buddy. No trout yet on the Wacky rig, but we do have 2 species marked down for the day, between a cut lips minnow and a creek chub, so not bad. Worm, honestly, I'm just trying to throw for a big boy. There we go. Not sure what it is. Not sure what it is. Creek chub. Come here, buddy. Another nice sized one. Alright, come here, buddy. Alright, well, the worm fell at my feet at least, so that's good. With that sucker mouth. I don't know if you're actually supposed to like handle them by the mouth, so I always try not to. There's a nice looking creek chub. And there goes a very nice looking creek chub. Or can pick it up. There are more ripples down here than I've ever seen in a creek. It's actually impressive. Like, I really wish I could access that from somewhere else. Alright, it definitely gets deeper in here, which is a good sign. Hey, you gotta go where the fish are, right? Yeah, it is non-stop ripples. This is incredible. Oh my god, it's the whole way down. It is a little cold. Oh, good. Slippery rocks and creek shoes. Oh, yeah. Alright. Do my best. Oh, that was a terrible cast, but I might forfeit that cast here and just hop it over. Yeah, okay. Okay. A little over eager there. I don't even think it's that deep. I think they're just feeding on something under that tree. I don't know what on earth it is. Might have to go a little bit closer because I can't really get under that tree from here. I'm just curious what it is. I really am. Alright, perfect. Right to the center. Come on. Be trout. Yeah, it is. No, it came undone? Nope, no it did not. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. It's a big fall fish. Wow, it's a really nice sized fall fish, actually. It's alright, buddy. Hey. It's alright. Come here. Right through the top. Perfect. One of my bigger ones of the year so far, for sure. Alright, there he is. I'm not going to try and get a picture of him in here, just because I'm really trying not to dunk my phone in the water in case I fall. Interesting. So the first one in that heavy feeding zone is a fall fish. Really should have wore wading gear. That was instant. Holy crap, that was instant. Ah, spit me, and I got a leaf. Okay. It's hitting, like, the minute the bait hits the water, it's already in their mouth. It's unbelievable how aggressive they're currently being. It might be all fall fish. It really might be. There was another one, just instant. The bites are just so interesting. And that could be unfortunate for me. Nope, no, we're good. Out of the tree. Yeah, that right there is partially what I was worried about. Catch one, and it's going to scare them off a bit. Yeah, I have a feeling whatever they were feeding on either isn't dropping anymore. It might have been the berries, actually. There is a berry bush right there. Yeah, and I just threw off my worm, so. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing much more activity. I'm curious if it was these berries right here, or if it was bugs just dropping, but I'll try and see if I can get a better position from here from land. It's just a little bit tough to do so in this kind of gear. Alright, I threw on the light pink jackal worm. Unfortunately, I think it's too small for this hook size, and I'll have to see if they have smaller ones. I wanted to kind of get like my first batch of all this. So worst case scenario, if I can't get anything on these jackal worms today, I'll try another episode in the future if I can find smaller hooks than this, because I mean, I think they're perfect for these size of fish. Like these hooks, like they're doing a great job, and I think they'll be definitely great for trout. I just think the hook's a little bit too exposed for the average trout to actually go after it. That's my only thing. That's why I'm kind of throwing some more night crawlers. Mainly if I can have this be like just a wacky rig mission for creek, I think that'd be pretty cool. You don't often see like videos of people wacky rigging for trout, you know. I think that'd be pretty neat to do something a little bit different here. It's partially working. I mean, we're getting fish, just not trout. Alright, well, I would imagine I scared everything off from here to Hanoi, so we're gonna hop back up to the trail, go around, and start hitting some hopefully deeper water. But it's definitely gonna be interesting, because I mean, all this way and no trout still could make today a little bit tough. It's considerably more shallow in here too. I'm gonna stick with the wacky rig. I wanted to throw the jackal one time. I just don't think that much exposed hook is going to be great for it. So I'm probably going to stick to somewhat of a night crawler approach with this. Maybe I'll try and jig head this at some point. I'm not sure, but you know, we'll play it by ear. Try and do something a little bit different. The way I'm kind of wacky rigging this, that'll make maybe a little bit of a better chance. I'm kind of roping it up rather than draping it just across. Like, it'll still drop the exact same as a classic like bass fishing wacky rig, but this way the hook is a little bit more subtle. Like, obviously, yeah, they're gonna still see it a little bit, but that doesn't typically stop us from getting them on the jig head. So kind of trying to do the same approach. I think it's a nice sized fall fish, and it is. Well, I found one species that really likes wacky rigs. The fall fish community. Come here. It's alright, buddy. Alright. try and show him off the best that I can. He is beautiful. He actually has blue colorations on him. Oh, that's so cool. Quick photo, and we'll get him sent back. See you, buddy. Well, we've shown before, the fall fish community is not the pickiest one in the world, so we're still looking for that potential first wacky rigged trout. There's still a lot of activity, but it's a good sign that the fall fish are at least really active. As of recording this, I'm fishing Jim Thorpe for the first time in a couple weeks, so that should be pretty exciting. I'm hoping it goes well enough that I can do a video, but you know, really excited. We're gonna take a weekend trip up there, Airbnb. It's gonna be great. Plus Jim Thorpe in the fall. I mean, you can't ask for much better scenery than that right before October ends, but right before Halloween too. So should definitely be pretty cool. I'm gonna try and get some trout while we're up there, but my first time fishing there, so should be pretty cool. Originally today was going to be one of about 3 different videos. This was actually not on my list for today. I just happened to be in the area, and I said, you know what, this is pretty close to where I was going to be today, so I was just going to do my video here and then do my other 2 later this week. Most of my fishing does get done on Saturdays. It's kind of my best opportunity, especially for like bigger day trips. Obviously, you know, I don't like entirely staying local all the time, but you know, when you're on a couple hours of sleep, you feel like a corpse. Hey, it is what it is. I have so many sticker bushes stuck in my leg. We had a bite there for sure. You could see the line start to get ripped out a little bit. Yeah, I still would like to do a BFS trout fishing video. I would prefer if we got some damn rain here, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I think it's just a myth. So I would like to do a couple more, but it really is going to depend on the creek level. I mean, you can't really escape it here on the northeast at this point. Obviously, we had flooding for a bit because of Helene, and you know, I mean, Milton, as the time of recording this, just tore through Florida. So been a lot of rain to go around in this country. Way too much in some states and not near enough in the others. But obviously I've fished in 4 states so far this year, and doesn't really matter where you go, you're going to be hitting drought. Between Jersey, New York, even in Ohio, didn't end up fishing there, but it was still very shallow in a lot of spots. And then we were just at Maryland not too long ago, very shallow down there too. So, you know, it is what it is. You do your best, but sometimes the weather just doesn't work out, and you know, let's face it, I don't know how much winter fishing I'll be doing this year. We'll see. Yeah, I might call it here for part 1. I'm obviously going to have to do part 2 for this video just because didn't catch nearly enough for me to constitute a full video for this. There's plenty going on down here. I might see if I can just hop in this area real quick, but I don't know. It's a pretty long ways down for the rest of this trail, and it is lunchtime, and I didn't eat breakfast, so we'll see. I might add a little bit more from this creek here. If not, I might try the White Missing Creek later this week just to see if I can't get a hold of a trout or 2 in there. But we're gonna circle back to our bag, and I'm gonna call it as I go. We'll see how I'm feeling once I get packed up a little bit. The most fun thing about wandering through what should be creek bed is the amount of mud that you will occasionally fall into. That's why I always say when you're going through like the water, I don't care if it's just like a couple inches of water, still always be careful, obviously. Right here, apparently, is not always dried up. I mean, obviously this is like normally the creek bed. Apparently that spot was very wet very recently, and I took one step in there and just went right into it. So a little unfortunate there. definitely have to wash off before I get into the car. But I did throw a full-size nightcrawler on here. The ripples are mostly down this way, but like I did before, I wanted to hit kind of the spots going into it. That way, if I reel something again, or just make a little bit of noise, I'm not spooking, you know, other opportunities. I see some ripples going on up here. Not sure what that is. Just drop in there. First trout of the day, I think. Yes, it is. My first ever wacky rig trout. It does work. All right, let's get him unhooked. Okay, it's on that side. Hold on a little bit. All right, here he is. What a beautiful, beautiful brown trout. Beautiful. I'm gonna try and get a nice release photo here. That's a really nice size one too. I knew I was watching those ripples for a while. I had a good feeling. All right, little buddy, let's get you good. There he goes. What a beautiful fish. There he goes. He was not having any of my crap today. I think he may have been hooked before. Like, obviously, I'm gonna say this loosely, I don't recognize ever hooking that one, but it looked like his jaw might have had like a tiny bit of damage from a hook set. Nothing detrimental. Like, I don't think it looked like, obviously it healed pretty nicely. It just looked like a fish that might have been hooked in the side of the jaw before. Or maybe it was in a fight with something, you never know. Yeah, and all I did there, figured right under these trees are always good spots for them to sit. This is a nice, I mean, I've never fished this area before, so I do like looking for ripples, and that's generally been what's doing well today, is just finding those ripply areas and going from there. And, you know, I just saw some ripples under that tree from a while back, aimed right for it, and there we were. I'm bypassing that mess because I'm gonna fall right into the mud pit there. So this area in here is just a nice big drainage area, it looks like, from the other portion of the creek. Finally. What do we got? What do we got? I think it's a, oh, it's a jumbo creek. That, oh my god, I think that's my personal best creek chub. It is. Look at the head on that thing. Oh, I wonder if he, there's no way he was the one eating all of these, I don't think. That is Yeah, that's my personal best creek chub right there. And try and get a picture of him. Cool. It's either him or there's one in Maryland that I had caught that was really big. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, so I mean, definitely not big by any means, like in terms of like huge creek chubs or anything like that. There he goes. They're really underappreciated fish. You know, they fight really hard. They're a lot of fun. And when you're having a rough day trout fishing like we are, like them and fall fish are just a blast to catch. Mud all over my gear. It's been a mess in here. Yeah, it didn't feel like the same fish. There we go, we got something else. Another creek chub. It's another really nice sized one. Definitely smaller than the last, but come here. There we go. There we go. Another creek chub here. They're really nice size this year. Last year I was catching some of them and they were just really small ones. Alright, thank you, buddy. Let's get him poked back gently and safely. Nope, other way, buddy. Other way. There you go. And off he goes. Yeah, just comparing like those bites to the one we felt when we first got over here. No, not another wacky rig hook. Oh my god, the hook's still intact. But yeah, just the first one was definitely a trout, or the first 2 times we got a bite down here was definitely a trout. Yeah, it felt like another creek chub. I was always amazed by like people, especially that saltwater fish, that like get a specific nibble and they're like, oh yeah, no, that's this fish. I'm like, how the hell do you know that? And then, you know, you creek fish every day and you start to like understand like, oh, that's how. Like the little head bobs and just like how they strike and stuff like that. It is really cool. It's like a fun accomplishment. You know, you've caught enough fish and enough different species and stuff like that, that you can be like, oh yeah, like that bite took them an extra second to eat. Creek chub. Like, oh, they had like a double hit. Panfish usually. Oh, hit it in one big gulp. Tried a head move. Trout. Like, it is really fun to like learn that stuff. Like this one, for instance, feels like a creek chub or a fall fish. And let's get them in. The smallest one of the day on the biggest worm. See, that right there is fishing, you know. Oh wait, actually, no, I lied. That is a cut lips minnow. It's actually a really solid sized one. Definitely not a jumbo by any means, but for these little guys, I mean, definitely pretty cool. Another really underappreciated fish. I'm not going to say that they fight hard or anything like that, because they don't really. But, you know, you get a pack of like 100 of these, it is ridiculous how many, like, it can be in one area. All right, thanks, little buddy. There he goes. Can't believe that took an entire night crawler. Maybe I'll downsize a little bit, but I'm just going to hit in here a couple more times, and that's going to be it. When you're in the sun, it can feel a little bit warm, but listen, anybody that likes the heat, I'll never understand. I just can't do it. I had somebody at work asking me like, oh, what's your favorite kind of weather? I'm like, depression weather. I said Seattle, like rainy, breeze, clouds, overcast, never see the sun another day in my life. I said, it's perfect for me. He goes, wow, that is depressing. I said, yeah, it's perfect. I said, and it's great fishing weather. let's face it, if you have to be outside, like, I'd rather, you know, have to bundle up a little bit rather than have, you know, just sweat dripping you off it all day, have a 100-degree day. No, I'm good. Not my thing. When we went through that heat stretch here this year, that was just like 2 weeks, I think it was, of just like 90s minimum, like 100 plus. Oh my God. It's like, I don't live in Northeast United States for this crap. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we might have run our course here. That trout, I have a feeling, like on that last one, I got a little bit of like, maybe like the point of the hook got him, and that really deterred him because he bit a bait twice in a row. I just have a feeling on that missed hook set that he got a little bit of a mouthful of metal, and he said, you know what, I'm good. I really like the opposite side of these trees. I cannot get around this way, and I like this whole area right here is really sketchy. I put a foot in there and immediately just sunk into the creek, so I'm gonna say no on that one. Now the question is, do I order Taco Bell? I gotta bring up Taco Bell and Arby's every video. I don't eat there that much. It's just, you know, when you spend your whole day shooting a video in a creek, sometimes 16 like Doritos tacos are just what you need. It's delicious. Also, with this Jim Thorpe trip coming up, there's a big life event for me happening, so I will announce that later in the portion of my fishing life here. But it's something very exciting. Hopefully. Should be, but yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I unfortunately think we weared out our welcome at this portion of the creek. Maybe I'll just throw this one down there a little bit further, back to where we kind of started, but I'm going to attempt to safely maneuver. I'm just walking through the creek, and if I spook a trout, I spook a trout, but I'm not sinking into the mud one more time today. So unfortunately the ripples did stop down here. There was 100% trout, and then we got what, like 3 creek chubs and a cutlet minnow. So not a bad haul. I mean, I wish we would have had a little bit more action today, but I'm just gonna hop right back down here to where we were fishing before and just aim in from a different angle, see if I can get under those trees or something like that. But yeah, a little slow today, but hey, still a beautiful trip out. All right. Nope, right there. It's way by a floating net. They're wonderful. Also, I ordered my micro fishing gear. So using probably this setup here and maybe one other like ultralight rod, I will be micro fishing, which is using very similar to what I'm currently using gear wise, but even smaller. I bought like an acrylic photo tank. So if you're not familiar with like life listers for fishing, it's basically people that go around to every single body of water that you can imagine, and they catch every species of fish that you can imagine. Not like big ones, mostly like the really small, like forgotten fish, like darters and stuff like that. They really hammer out a lot of these like small creek species that are like swimming around me right now. Can't hook them with this size hook, but you can hook them with really like specialized gear. So, but then, you know, and you've seen it before, my net right here is perfect for trout, but even then, like smaller trout can escape through the holes, and I love this net, but that's obviously a problem when you're catching some smaller like creek species. I would like to be able to take a picture of them and like document it, and that'd be really fun. So I've talked to a few life listers on Instagram that follow me, and I follow them back, and it's fun. I'm really excited to try and like go after some of these really tiny species. My worm has flown off. Well, you know, I mean, I'm right here. I might as well. Oh, just a portion of the worm. Nah, they can have that for now. But yeah, I'm excited to go after some of these, like, smaller species. I'm excited to get, like, a little photo tank, because these fall fish and creek chubs and stuff like that would be perfect for it. It's essentially just like, and it's made for them. It doesn't hurt them at all. You essentially just have a little photo box, and you just take pictures of the fish. Great blue heron coming in to see what I'm catching. He's not a fan of me. Yep, well, he's already yelling. That was quick. Blue herons are beautiful, but they are miserable souls. Alright, I'm reading pretty far in here. I don't think anything's gonna happen for me at this point. I don't know what just flew by my head, but that was interesting. I heard, like, wings. I don't know. It could have been another heron, could have been a duck. It was an okay birding trip, you know, nothing too, I hate my life, nothing too spectacular. Alright, well, that worm's now gone, all that work, and it's gone. Yeah, I think that's probably going to do it here. It's been quiet in this area today. I don't think that's going to change in the next couple minutes. So, probably going to call it there, record a couple bird species in the background, and it'll be great. There's a tufted titmouse right over there. Alright, well, I don't know if we're really going to need part 2. I kind of did accomplish the big question, which was, can you catch a trout wacky rig style? Obviously, yes. Yes, you can. Might be a little bit difficult, but this creek makes it a little bit tough. I think this will be okay for one video. You know, not every video is going to be 55 catches. As much as I really enjoy when I can pull off that crap, it's not a common occurrence, and it usually takes much more than a few hours that I have today. But thank you all so much for joining me for another episode of Fishing Fridays. I am still looking forward to potentially doing more than just Fridays for fishing. I don't know. I want to do like mystery tackle box videos, like just challenges with that. Obviously, since, you know, they sponsor me and everything, it would be kind of cool to do. Like the challenges with those, like just catching stuff in your box. I'm actually, like, whatever you got in your box for the month. I am in the process of filming one right now, but part 1 did not go well, just due to like weather and scheduling and everything like that. And, you know, it is a bear sometimes to get all this ear ducks in a row. It's always that meme I like that's just like, my ducks are definitely not in a row. 2 of them are lost, 1 of them is definitely missing, and 1 is a goose. That's what it feels like being a YouTuber in 2024. It is just, it's a grind, especially trying to keep up with everything. It's just, it's a lot, man. It is a lot, but I'm having an absolute blast with it. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, if I start adding videos another day, you know, you guys will be the first ones to know, of course. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Head over to Bait Finesse Empire if you want to get your hands on some really cool small gear. It's a good time of the year if you're in the Northeast. I mean, this is essentially your last month or 2 of solid weather before, you know, the snow, the ice, the inevitability of winter. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty beautiful in here as of recording this. You guys will see this video well after the fact, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you guys are getting out there and fishing. Be safe, like I said, if you're wading through creek, especially in stupid creek shoes like I am, because Why buy $300 wading shoes like I have at home that I don't use when you can use $30 ones off of Amazon and almost sink it in the mud every day? But it's an absolute blast. I love this job. You guys make it awesome as well. So like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if it helps any of you out. You know, it's a good time. And there goes a trout shooting right across. He's teasing me. Follow me on Instagram. I have one for Legos and one for fishing. And follow me on Fishbrain if you guys want to see all of the other catches. Some of the ones that don't make it into this video, like my camera wasn't on, or just catches that I do outside of recording, because I do fish outside of here as well, just to kind of relax. And I'll see you next time. Tight lines, everybody.